Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Dear viewers, in my last video, I spoke about the mega EV transition and the key EV makers, both the established ones and the challengers, such as Hero Group-backed Ather Energy, Hero Electric, Greaves Cottons, Ampere, Ola Electric, TVS, Okinawa, Bajaj Chetak, and so on. I also left you with the message that the popular and leading names in the EVs will not be the biggest beneficiaries of the EV transition. For one, most of these players derive majority of their sales from the internal combustion engines. EV still remains a very small part of their portfolio, and even if that part of the portfolio grows exponentially, the disruption and cannibalization will lead to shrinking in their legacy portfolio, which will outweigh the growth aspect. Further, the upfront investments required in the EV manufacturing will be huge, and the payback period for them could be longer. By the time of the payback, the competition and pricing pressure could be brutal. So, while the potential buyers of EVs, that is you and me, have much to look forward to from these EV makers, investors who wish to make big gains from the EV revolution will need to expand their vision and look beyond EV OEM, and will need to shift their focus to EV supply ecosystem. Basically, you need to look beyond auto OEMs and consider players involved in charging infrastructure, battery swapping operators, EV ancillary manufacturers, companies with expertise in product and EV software designing, battery makers, metal, mining and chemical companies that could provide the much needed minerals like lithium, silver, etc. and so on. Now here is a fun fact. There are only around 20 moving parts in a fully electric car versus 2000 moving parts in internal combustion engine vehicle. A fully electric car will not need multi-speed transmissions, radiators, fuel injectors, gas tanks, valve trains or exhaust systems, pistons, gears, spare parts and so on. Companies like Shriram Pistons and Rings, the company that makes piston rings and engine valves, or Ucal Fuel Systems that makes carburetors and air suction valves for the two-wheeler segment and oil pump, fuel injection part, etc. will find it difficult to cope up with this transition. Now here is a list of different auto components and the impact they will face amid EV transition. To be on the winning side of the EV bet, it is critical that you get rid of the players where the product portfolio is suited to internal combustion engines only. Be cautious of the players with disproportionate dependence on the electrification or pure EV plays as well, such as Olectra Greentech. You see, the upside in these players could be huge provided the transition is timely. That said, getting the timing wrong in case of a delay in this migration or policy related hiccups could cause pure EV plays go bankrupt. The relatively safer bets in the EV transition will be EV agnostic companies with great fundamentals and attractive valuations, such as tire makers, maker of vehicle lights, and so on. In fact, the latter is likely to be positively benefited due to high requirement of aesthetic appeal in the EVs. Now, along with better aesthetics and design, EVs will need improved energy or fuel efficiency, and that requires focus on making the vehicle lightweight to counteract the heavy battery weight. This could make EV makers gravitate towards reinforced plastic polymers. When that happens, companies like Transpec Industries that make high specialty polymers could benefit. The global automakers are also experimenting with replacing steel and cast iron with aluminum. So companies like Nalco and Hindalco could find big opportunities from this transition going forward. However, when it comes to the biggest beneficiaries of value migration in EVs, I believe it will be product engineering, design and technology service companies that will benefit the most. Because these are making electrified vision relevant by making it connected, autonomous, shared, secure and at much less capex. For instance, companies like KPIT and Tata Elxsi that are redefining car from mobility solution to consumer devices by adding elements like IoT and autonomy. Remember I told you that a pure EV will have just 20 moving parts as compared to 2000 for internal combustion engines? I shared the parts that might get phased away. The parts that will find more usage in EVs will include battery, electric drive, power electronics, vehicle interface control, and non-powertrain components. To be specific, there will be huge tailwinds for companies that manufacture microprocessors, wiring harnesses, sensors, controllers, companies that offer cybersecurity solutions and focus on telematics. By the way, to de-jargonize, telematics is solutions that encompasses telecommunications, vehicular technologies, electrical engineering, and computer science. In case you didn't notice, I haven't spoken much about the opportunities in the charging and battery space. I believe it's a topic that demands a separate session, and then there is also a better person to talk about it. You see, my colleague Tanushree has been working on the developments and opportunities in the charging and battery space for a long time now. She has identified a whole bunch of winners and losers in the battery place. So do watch out for the next video from her. Thank you for watching.
Our new research uncovers some shocking truths behind today's hottest investment opportunity, electric vehicles. Don't invest your money in EV stocks before seeing our research. Click here to sign up for our special event to know it all for free.